The biggest travesty is what this movie could have been if you just gave it more and believed in it more. But that's the story of being Hispanic or being black in America, right? They'll never give a or a Mexican a chance, right? YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner. I am here to give you guys a review of Bluebeetle. I'm here with the homie E-Man.
What up, y'all? Glad to be here. What it do?
How you doing, E-Man? You good?
I'm good, bro. I'm
All right,
really
for sure.
good.
We seen Bluebeetle, man,
Yeah,
and we got some thoughts for you guys. Spoiler free, of course.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna let my main man E-Man say his shit. You know, say your thing about the movie.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna say my thing about the movie.
And we gonna run
You
it
know
like
what I'm saying?
that.
We can do. That's how we gonna do
That's
it.
how we gonna do it.
All right, E-Man, go ahead, bro, with your bad self. Go ahead. What you think about the movie, bro?
Before I go on this, man, this movie was cool, but I seen some things that had some Spider-Man taste to it, some Iron Man taste to it, some
That don't sound like a bad thing.
Superman taste to it.
Bro. That don't sound bad, bro. I mean,
I'm just saying it's not bad, but it shouldn't have been there. And then there was some things that happened in this movie that should never happen. This movie was more of a comedy for more of an action thrill. I thought this was gonna be more on some serious tip than on that. Now don't get me wrong. They did a really good job on this. I enjoyed this movie. It was fun.
They did a really good job. You liked it then?
From the most part, not as much as I thought I was, but it was good. It was good. It wasn't too bad. There was, like I said, there were some things in this movie that happened in this movie that it made me like, what the fuck is this shit? And I don't mean that in a good way.
So like,
I don't mean that in a good way.
It's hard to kind of. So it was kind of dumb, or what?
It was some dumb shit that happened in this movie, but it was some serious. It was some serious takes in this shit too, though, and I like the serious takes. But it's like every time we kept going serious, it kept going goofy.
Yeah,
it was.
I agree.
Don't get me wrong. It's better than Shazam. It's way better than Shazam. It don't have that.
Bro, what are you talking about, bro? Don't dare bring up filth movies like Shazam.
That formula.
Never do that shit again, bro, nigga. You want to be my friend? You want to stay my friend, my nigga? Don't you ever do that shit again.
It don't have that formula.
We don't mention that filth here.
I thought it was good. I felt like George Lopez did a cool job, on this.
George Lopez did a cool job for being a Mexican coon, because that's exactly what it is. If you guys don't know about George Lopez, I invite you to look at this clip right here that's going to show you about what he thinks about other Mexicans coming up in the business and how he doesn't want to help them.
Look out for yourself. That's what look out for yourself.
But I also want to look out for others.
I don't think that's the right thing.
I look out for myself and my family, of course, but I also want to make the path easier for the next guy.
You know what? I think that's...
You don't think so?
I don't.
No. Yeah, that's just a glimpse of who George Lopez is. He doesn't... This is a movie about embracing your Latino heritage as well, because this is really what it is. And I love that about the movie. But knowing that George Lopez doesn't believe in what he's representing in the movie here...
But it is up to us to the Ralph Barbosas of the world to turn around and go, hey man, I want to make the path for you easy.
But nobody knows who that motherfucker is. What are you saying his name, man?
Look, I think he's great, and I'm doing it
wrong to say, Aaron?
I'm doing exactly what I'm preaching. Is
what do you mean you don't
can
know
we
him?
bring this kid up? Right?
Have you heard of him? Okay. Is it wrong for me to say why do you keep bringing his name up and nobody knows who he is?
It's funny to me. A Mexican's worst enemy is another Mexican? Oh, yeah. Every now and then somebody will be like, you're the next George Lopez. Even before this George Lopez thing, my response was already like, you're George Lopez. Oh, really? Whenever somebody would yell that from the audience, or any Latino comedian they'd throw out, I just think it's funny that they're just like assuming I looked up to George Lopez.
I wanted to ask you when you came out, because you're 26. I don't think you ever grew up watching him.
Even when I was watching him, I was like, I don't get it. He's funny as It's just like, I'm not going to watch him.
George was a
15,
Mexican
16.
comedian. You're a comedian that's Mexican.
Okay, I see it, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you needed a Mexican comedian.
So that I could be a comedian that's Mexican.
Yes.
Kind of fraudulent, bro. George Lopez, Mexican coon, if there ever was one. Go ahead, E-Man. My bad, bro.
Oh, it's all good, bro. I thought the actor who played as Jaime was cool too. I still got more of the taste of Cobra Kai than anybody else.
He did
Every
a
time
great
I kept
job,
seeing
bro.
him was Cobra Kai out of anything else. So He did a good job with Cobra Kai, but when you look at an actor who's doing a different part, you want to see them be a different part, not see them be the same person as they was in another show. I saw more of the Cobra Kai him than see him being Jaime, and that was a kind of a problem for me. The way how they kind of did this was a little bit different compared to that.
But who he is in Cobra Kai is just a regular Hispanic kid trying to
A
get
high
cool.
school Hispanic kid,
Yeah, just
who,
like
in martial arts, and it's kind of like that. But this is
Like,
how they did this
I
one.
disagree, bro. You
This is
tripping.
a grown ass man who is grown.
He's 20, like 22,
What you mean,
23
bro?
or something in this movie. He's young.
I'm
Fresh
saying,
out of college.
yeah, but he's a grown.
He
he's
fresh graduated from Gotham Law School. Did you notice that?
I ain't want to spoil that. I ain't want to.
What do you mean?
I thought that was been a spoiler.
No, it's like an Easter egg, a little
No,
something.
I ain't want to say nothing.
Did you
That's why
guys
I kept
notice
that.
the Gotham tie? Did you guys notice a Lex Luthor tie? Like, this thing is heavily ensconced in part of what the DCEU? DCU? I don't really know because this thing is in a transitional period. But it's in DC, bro. Just like Black Adam was, with the comic books in the little kid's room. This even more so, bro. There's a lot of Easter eggs in this bad boy, a lot of ties to other DC characters, DC worlds.
Lots.
And in this universe, what I like about it, in this universe, superheroes are not unknown. They're known. People know Batman,
everybody know who
Superman,
they are. Yeah,
all of them are
yeah.
things. So for a character like Blue Beetle to have powers and have a scarab in his back,
Yeah.
for the family to believe it so soon
Yeah.
and just roll with the punches,
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense. Because that's the kind of world that we live in this movie. It's not like I'm the first hero like Green Lantern. He was the first of, the only hero ever. No one ever seen it before.
Yeah.
It's different here.
I felt like it was kind of rushed though a little bit because I felt like we could have got a little further on before situations just happened just like that.
Things happen quick.
Yeah, it
bro.
happened too quick, and that was a problem for me. Like it's better.
I'm not
when
hearing enough positives from you, bro. Let me go ahead and throw some out.
All right.
This movie is basically, to sum it up, this is a 2013 Phase 1 MCU movie. Think about it right around Iron Man 2, Thor, Dark World, Ant-Man, the first Guardians. This is a movie that feels like it came out in the first and second phase of the MCU. Now, that's a good thing because it does the MCU formulaic thing right. It's entertaining. It's got the family. It's got a good lead actor, comedic. It's got the crazy, wacky uncle. It's got a lot of things happening and stuff like that. A lot of bright colors. The suit, it's just a typical way of telling a superhero story that actually works. This movie does it right when it comes to, here's a new superhero in a Beetle costume. I really think a lot about Ant-Man when it came out.
Me too.
How Ant-Man and they have a lot of
Yeah,
similarities.
it's a lot of
Like,
similarities in this movie about Ant-Man. And
it has that feel. Even
the chick, it has some. It was questionable. It was very questionable. What I saw, I was like, oh shit, they better not go there.
This movie's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. My expectations were all the way down to the bottom. Also, I would like to commend this movie. This belongs in theaters. This does not feel like an HBO Max movie.
Yeah.
This feels like a summer blockbuster, mid-budget, lower mid-budget, 100 to 150, 100 to 130 million dollar budget movie, which surprised the heck out of me because even though the CG is challenging in most parts, they did a good job getting Blue Beetle right. So every time I'm seeing Blue Beetle do his thing, for the most part, it looked good. Yeah. There's some questionable CG when it comes to the backgrounds. Some of the CG backgrounds look awful, but the character Blue Beetle was good. The story, I think the story was okay. This is about family. It's about culture. It really checks a lot of the boxes that make people like movies. Oh, is it personal for you? Can you sympathize with being a loner? Do you sympathize with being poor? Do you sympathize with being marginalized? Could you sympathize with wanting to be rich? Can you sympathize with wanting to feed your family? There's a lot of checks, a lot of boxes that this movie checks for our own human emotion and our own likabilities, things that we look into superhero movies. So I would say that this movie was very general. It was very basic. It was very safe. It does, but then it had a couple of edge moments in there. We saw some blood in a couple of scenes in this movie.
A lot of profanity in this movie too.
And that's the thing.
Serious.
The tone was kind of weird. They made some sexual references.
Yeah, a lot.
A couple of sexual references.
Bro,
and
I
I
think
was
it was
like,
like
whoa,
3 or
what's
4?
going on?
Yeah.
Like, you got hard Woody references, bro. Like,
yeah.
he got a hard on in the movie, bro.
Yeah.
Like, what the freak?
Yeah.
And then you got the kiddiness of the MCU, and then someone dies, and then someone dies cartoony, but then someone dies with blood.
Yeah.
Like, the tone
There's
of
a lot
this
of
movie-
blood in this too. Wasn't no MCU shit.
No, it's MCU. See, that's what I'm saying. You just said there's blood. There's not no MCU shit. This isn't like it. This is just like an MCU movie, but it has a couple of moments where it's like
You can
we're
see
a
the
little
DC
edgy.
moments a little bit. You know.
This feels like more of an MCU movie in its heyday than it does a DC movie.
Well, because why? I felt like I don't agree. I kind of say like because this had a little bit more of a darker tone. MCU was more of a lighter tone. This was really
Darker tone. It had dark moments.
There were
tone
stakes
wasn't
in
dark.
this shit.
When was the tone dark? The tone of the whole film was dark. No.
Not the whole.
That's the
not
tone.
the whole.
The tone
Not the
wasn't
whole.
dark.
Not the whole.
It did,
Some of it.
It had tonal issues.
Yeah,
this
yeah,
movie did. It didn't. It was
But
up
it was
and down
stakes
with
in this
it.
movie compared to the MCU. It was some real shit that was happening in this compared
I mean,
to.
stuff like that happened to MCU too, bro. Like,
Bro, you talking
Ant-Man
about the
and his
past?
daughter,
Talking about now?
Iron Man.
Talking about old
I'm
MCU?
comparing this to the old
Oh,
MCU though, bro.
okay,
I'm not
for
comparing to the Blue Beetle is better than most all that stuff in the MCU and some stuff in the DC.
Facts.
This is better than Wakanda
Martial arts
Forever. This is
scenes,
better
fire.
than Thor Loving. This is better. That's why I said this is like an MCU movie from Phase 1, Phase 2.
Oh shit, they did it. Okay, cool. I can say something
Like
like
this is on point. So, I would say that this is better than some DC movies, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you. We'll have a conversation later about rankings and stuff like that on Jody's Corner Live this Monday. Jody's Corner Live this Monday at 5 p.m. Make sure you guys check that out. Also, make sure you guys check out notjustanime.com. This is actually brought to you by notjustanime.com. Shout out to you. Notjustanime.com is here. Yeah. Go to notjustanime.com, click any video that you want, and boom, you're going to see a page to authenticate through Patreon. Click the Patreon authentication, and that's it. You're in. Hundreds of videos of anime content to come. Some of these videos are like an hour long, some of them 2 hours long. Only way to find out is go to notjustanime.com. You get access to our special Discord server, and I would like to officially announce that we're going to be reacting to One Piece. Notjustanime.com. Woo! Notjustanime.com poppin'. So, this movie, I liked it, but then there's a lot of things that I didn't like. Like, there's
Grandma.
like 5 or 6 instances where it's like, why are you cheapening it up right here? Why did you do that? Oh, you're doing that in order to move the plot forward, but you could have did it in a better way. The writing of this movie, like, it's so problematic that they get in their own way. If they took this movie seriously, if they really chose the tone that they wanted to go for, like, yo, this is going to be a gritty movie with some family heart element, I think they would have did a better job. Because if this movie was trying to be more like Avengers Endgame, it would have been better. But this movie is trying to be like Avengers Endgame, Spider-Man 2, Ant-Man 1, and it's trying to be like Guardians of the Galaxy.
What?
All in one. Like all that stuff. Its tone, it has problems. But if they really buckled down and really gave more attention to this script and decided that they're going to make this a certain way, a way of at least have some uniformity, like, oh, we're not going to have the ups and downs. This is what the movie's going to be, whether it be dark or light. I think they would have freaking had a much better movie here. Plus, the score for this movie was fire.
Yeah.
Fire score, fire music.
Yeah.
The score was great
Action scenes was
in
dope.
this movie. I really liked it.
Action scenes, I enjoy those action scenes, bro. Shout out to those action scenes. It was good. It was mid, but it wasn't that mid. It was some things that they did in it, and it was dope.
It wasn't that mid. Though.
And I enjoyed it though. I'm not gonna cap. I enjoy it. I'm very into martial arts, so I enjoyed that shit. That shit was kind of dope. It was surprising to see how they were going with this. That was kind of tight. There was the one of the main plot, the villain, his story and everything else was going on with that. That was kind of like crazy, but it was kind of tight. Knowing about that situation. But it was cool, man. I mean,
it's
there were
just
some points that I did enjoy
there's
this movie.
convenient things that happen in this movie. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Wait, you driving to this building and at the same time she manages to come out at this time?
Yeah.
Oh, you decide to go to this job thing at this time, and at that same time she's coming. A lot of coincidences and conveniences.
My family know how to do
bro.
all this and do all that. How regular people know how to do all this.
Oh yeah, you trash. You know what you're talking about.
I got a problem with
yeah,
that.
bro. I think that this movie does better than expected. My expectations were at the bottom, and I'm glad that I had them down there because I was pleasantly surprised with Bluebeetle. I think that you guys should definitely go see this movie in
agree.
theater, and I do think that the way Bluebeetle was made, I think that James Gunn could pull this into the DCU with no problem.
Right.
It doesn't. This movie
Has growth. It has
it's
growth.
perfect the way they showed certain things, because you got Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, but we don't know what they look like. They just mention them in this movie.
Yeah, facts,
so
facts.
I
Even
hope
Flash.
this movie does well. I hope it does well, and I think that you have it's a shame. This could have been a great movie. You have a good cast. You have a good score. You have a good character design. You have a good main lead actor, and you got some good little comedy up in that motherfucker. This could have been the biggest travesty is what this movie could have been if you just gave it more and believed in it more. But that's the story of being Hispanic or being black in America, right? They'll never give a nigga or a Mexican a chance, right? Black and brown, we always come second, third, fourth. And at the end of the day, I think that they did what they did with this movie, bro. Because this movie talked about how it is to be brown in America and how you got to work harder for what you have.
Yeah.
Do extra, multiple jobs, low pay, don't matter what it is. This movie was a representation of a Hispanic person coming to America. This movie had to work hard for what it did to get what it get to reap the benefits that it got. E-Man, final thought.
As I said, there's a lot of things that I had problems with, but there are things that I did enjoy and I did like. I agree with Jody on a lot of other things. I agree also too about the fact that y'all should definitely see this movie. This ain't a movie you want to be like, nah, I don't want to see this. I don't know. This is a movie you do want to check out. It's really interesting. And what really love about this too is family.
Family.
You know what I'm saying? Sticking with the Latino culture. You know, there was a lot of Latino culture in this shit, and there was a lot of love, and I dig that a lot. So that was freaking solid to me. I enjoyed that part about it. I enjoyed the fight scenes. I enjoyed a few of other scenes that I still think was crazy, but it still was like, okay, I'll take this what it is. I give this grade a C+.
Ha ha ha! Nice, good grade. I too give it a C+. That's my grade for this movie because it does. It's just a shame that this thing could have been.
Yeah.
They could have had an A movie here.
But it's good that Latino. Like I feel like what they did with Black Panther, and they was trying to show a Latino. This is a movie that they did show a Latino movie and bring out more. Nobody really know who the fuck Jaime is. Nobody knows like that unless you watch the Teen Titan movies or whatever. That's where you kind of figure more of that out. But this opened up right for me. It could have been a lot better than what it was. I totally agree. But for what they did was good, especially for a Latino movie. So shout out to Latinos on that one.
Subscribe to the channel for that real content. Let us know in the comment section what you guys think. Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you, E-Man, for being here. We are out. In the beginning, it's like I had to take a leap of faith. It was me in front of the camera. And I did have to take a leap of faith.